This is the Sick'em Podcast. The Sick'em Podcast is a production of Baylor Athletics. Now, here are your hosts, Brooke Bednarz and the voice of the Bears, John Morris.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Sick'em Podcast, a production of Baylor Athletics. We're glad you're with us this week. John Morris, Brooke Bednarz, and we're pleased to have as our guest this week Baylor Men's Tennis Interim head coach Michael Woodson. And, Michael, you're in kind of the stretch run here for you guys for the regular season. We appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, you got to feel pretty good. I mean, we haven't been able to visit with you yet. We've been looking forward to it, and we've just kind of been watching all the wins stack up, and 26-3 on the season. Right now, you're on a 10-game win streak. You have to feel pretty good about where you guys are sitting right now.
No, certainly feel great about where the team's at and how they're performing right now. I think, it's been – they've had a lot of success throughout the entire season, but to be honest, they're really showing their true colors now. They've improved a ton recently. They're playing better and better on the doubles court, and I think, really rounding into form as we get to the end of Big 12 play and into the tournament.
Big win as we tape this on Wednesday, so it's Wednesday, April 14th as we record this. Win last night over Midwestern State, 7-love, and a historic win, really, in doubles for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Konstantin Franzen broke Benny Becker's record for most doubles wins, 105. It's just an incredible feat for Connie, and it just speaks volumes to the career that he's had. And we started at the exact same time here at Baylor, so 5 years ago. I mean, to see his growth as a player and as a person, as a leader and the captain of the team has been very special. So, it brought tears to my eyes to see him do that. It was really cool.
Well, that was a mark that everyone knew was coming, that everyone knew was very possible to break last night. So what was that reaction like? I'm sure you guys, obviously the parade was last night as well, but I'm sure there was just as much excitement on the tennis court.
We were all looking past a couple of the other courts to that court to see that moment and make sure we recorded it and just to see their reaction. Nick, I put Nick with him because Nick was going to win his 100th doubles match of his career. I thought it'd be cool if they did it together, and they just played unbelievable. They've never played together before, and to see them embrace after the match was really cool. Very special.
So Nick is right there also. I mean, he's got 100 career doubles wins.
He has 100 career doubles wins, not at Baylor, obviously.
Right.
And then he has, I think, 104 singles wins. So,
wow.
He has well over 200 total victories, which is incredible for a college career. So it's been cool to kind of have some of these milestones here over the past few weeks.
Well, and I think, we should take a moment to speak about the athlete whose record was just broken, because he's not just some nobody,
John,
we did, we talked earlier with Jerry Hill this time about 25 for 25. So tell us a little bit about Benjamin Becker and all of his amazing feats that Connie is now up in the ranks with.
Yeah, well, it just passed him, actually,
yep.
with the win last night. So Benjamin Becker, a Baylor Athletics Hall of Fame, 3-time All-American, NCAA singles champion in 2004, one of the 25 for 25. I don't know if you've seen that, but with the top 25 student athletes at Baylor in the 25 years of the Big 12 Conference, which is this year, and just a terrific player and person, and that was a great stretch for Baylor tennis when Benny was a part of that.
It absolutely was. He went on to have a phenomenal professional career and is now in college coaching. I mean, he's a great representative of Baylor University and obviously had an amazing career individually and as part of the team.
He's at Michigan now? Is that right? Assistant coach at Michigan.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know if there has been any communication between the two now that the record has been broken?
I'm sure that there has, knowing Benny and knowing their relationship, both being German. I mean, they know each other well. So I'm sure Benny's reached out to him. And I know for Connie, it was just a huge honor to be, mentioned in the same sentence as a guy like Benjamin.
Very neat.
That's a great accomplishment. It is. And your team is, Konstantin is playing very well, but it's not just him.
Yeah.
You guys are 26-3 on the year. You're 3-0 in Big 12 conference play. You've won 10 matches in a row now, the longest win streak since 2014. Do you feel like, you're on that upward trajectory you'd like to be this time of the year?
For sure. I mean, that was we started the season well, and making the finals of National Indoors. I want to make sure that we're continuing to push and develop and not peak, too soon. And I felt like there was a point in the year, I think probably about the time we lost to Texas A&M, where we looked like we needed a little bit of a break. We were a little fatigued. We'd played a lot more matches than a lot of teams up to that point with the success we had. And just to step back, get back into the gym a little bit more, push a little bit more individually on the court. And we're really starting to see it pay off. A lot more focus on the doubles and kind of getting everything clicking. So I feel like we're peaking at the right time.
How would you describe the culture of your team? There's a lot of talk about that. We just talked about the culture of joy with the men's basketball program. So how would you kind of reflect on the team you have, on the lineup that you have set up? What would the culture of men's tennis be?
They just are so appreciative of the opportunity to be here at Baylor and to be competing together for something bigger than themselves. That it's an interesting group because we have a large team. We have 14 guys. We have 5 super seniors, we have 5 freshmen, and everything in between. And so it's a very different group with 4 grad transfers, than a lot of teams. And so even though a lot of the guys are new to Baylor, we have a phenomenal group that love each other so much and that, just appreciate every opportunity they have to go out there. And our goal has been to compete anywhere at any time against anybody. And I would say that they're doing a really nice job of that. It's easy to get up for Texas, but to take every match seriously and give it the best that they possibly can and try to improve every day is something. I think it starts from the top with our leadership and Connie and the other seniors, and is trickling down through the ranks.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. AFReserve.com.
I hate my job, but I don't mind getting up in the morning. I dread each day, but I can't wait to get out of bed. You ask me why, and what I'll say to you is true. Well, you can get breakfast tacos at Rudy's Barbecue. Scrambled eggs and brisket, they ain't fooling around. Sausage wrap, son, they're the best in town. Barbecue for breakfast, yes, it's true. Put a smile on your morning at Rudy's Barbecue. Next in line.
This is the Sikkim Podcast.
You mentioned it, Texas. Easy to get up for Texas, and that is, in fact, the next match here at home tomorrow. What are you expecting from Texas, and kind of what are the last-minute preparations? Obviously, you just played last night, but in order to kind of turn the focus to the Longhorns.
Yeah, no, we're excited for it for sure. We've played them twice this year. We were able to beat them on the road at their place, and then in the quarterfinals of National Indoors, we played them again and beat them. And they're a great team. They're very young. We're older. They're young. I feel like they're improving every match. They've had a phenomenal year so far, and I think they pose some problems for us, just with their youth, their feistiness. They're improving, and it's not easy to beat a team 3 times in a season, and we may see them a couple more times throughout the year, if things keep going the way that they are. And, so for us, it's just making sure that we're feeling good. We may play inside tomorrow. We're not sure yet, based on the weather. And so just getting ready for the conditions that we're going to be in, making sure that our doubles is sharp. And, a lot of the work has already been done. So for us, it's just making sure that the bodies are ready to go.
Is that 6 p.m.? Is that
6
right?
p.m.
6 p.m. on Thursday.
Yes.
It could be indoors. I mean, you'll make that decision tomorrow. What's our attendance policy for tennis this year?
Outside 50%.
Okay.
We're hopeful and expecting a good crowd outside.
Yeah.
I know that we would love to play outdoors if the weather permits. If it's inside, it's a pass list. They do 25%
Gotcha.
pass list. People can reach out to try to get on it, but it fills up pretty quick because there's not as much seating there.
I hope it's outdoors. Then.
Yes, fingers crossed that the weather holds up and we
Yes.
can have a lot of fans and a great crowd for a great match.
Do you guys have an appreciation for the long-standing rivalry between Baylor and Texas, really in every sport?
For sure. I mean, I think, with the Big 12 being smaller as far as men's tennis goes, I mean, the rivalries are heightened. I feel like, especially with Texas, TCU, and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just and all these guys have known each other through the juniors, even playing at big international tournaments. And so, there's a definitely a level of excitement that we have for Texas and these other Big 12 schools that we don't necessarily have when we play other teams.
Well, and then after Texas, I know we're really want to know, focus on the the task at hand,
Right.
but for the podcast purposes, we're gonna jump a little bit, and then Sunday you guys travel up to Fort Worth to play TCU, and there's a lot riding on that game for kind of how the whole Big 12 pans out.
Yes, no, and particularly that match. I think obviously they both have to go play at Texas Tech, which is not easy in the altitude in Lubbock, and that's a strong team. But that match against TCU is going to determine a lot, in the Big 12 and how it's going to fall with the regular season championship. So they got us when they came here in January, and I think our guys have not let that one go. They've been thinking a lot about it. I think, we wasn't our best performance. I thought that they played well and earned it. So I know our guys are going to be hungry for a strong performance up in Fort Worth.
And you might see them another time or two
I would
before
bet
the
on
year's
it.
over, right?
Yes,
yeah.
I would bet on it.
But you guys are hosting, Baylor's hosting the Big 12 championships this year. That'll be fun.
We're really excited about that. Our athletic department, our administration has done a phenomenal job of putting in some resources into sprucing the facility up. We've got new surface on the courts, and the guys are just thrilled to be able to play at home. Every opportunity we can to play at home is so special, especially right now in the pandemic, that we're just making the most of each one.
Speaking of that, you kind of mentioned the crowd. Hopefully all the weather is good for that. But what's the benefit of being able to play in front of a home crowd? And why should the Baylor family, who's kind of riding the excitement of all Baylor athletics right now, continue to pour into the athletes, specifically men's tennis?
It's an unbelievable difference playing at home, and how much of a difference you can make as a fan in the match. It's exciting. I mean, you go to a football game and it's exciting and the environment is fun, but you yelling and cheering loudly isn't going to necessarily affect the players on the field as an individual, but one person can make a difference in a tennis match. And it's exciting because there's 3 doubles and then there's 6 singles all going on at the same time. No ad scoring. It's 1 point. Somebody's going to win the game, and there's action all over the place. And so the combination of seeing all this different action going on at the same time while feeling like you can directly impact the match definitely gets individuals to return once they've gone to a match. So I would encourage anybody that's never been to a tennis match to come out and check it out. You'll probably be a repeat customer.
Yeah, some people have in mind, Wimbledon and, the polite clap, and don't make any noise. But it's not that at all.
This is college tennis. Be
exactly.
rowdy.
It is not that at all.
It is nothing like Wimbledon.
Right. We mentioned hosting the Big 12s. This is down the road, I think 2025, but we're on the schedule to host the NCAA outdoor championships again here in Waco. That was terrific when we hosted that before.
Yeah, we're really excited that the NCAA has given us that opportunity again. I mean, with the quality facilities that we have here and Waco, I mean, growing like it has, I think it's a great destination for college tennis. So super excited for bringing NCAAs and other championships to our facilities.
Whether on the field or cheering from home, Du Bois Furniture is proud to support the Baylor Bears. If your Bear Cave needs updating, Du Bois Furniture is here to help. With over 59 years of our family serving yours, let our experienced sales team help you find exactly what you want. We specialize in custom upholstery, stunning dining rooms, elegant bedrooms, gorgeous leather, and top quality mattresses. Come see us in Waco and Temple or visit us online at DuBoisFurniture.com. Du Bois Furniture, where beautiful homes happen.
Now, back to the Sikkim Podcast.
Michael Woodson, our guest, Baylor Men's Tennis Interim head coach. Okay, take this the right way, Michael, but are you, I'll say it this way, you're one of the top 2 former Valpo assistant coaches on the Baylor athletics coaching staff now, right?
I'll take a second place.
There you go. No, I'm not saying second. I'm saying top 2. Okay. But that's it's got to be a source of pride. Not only did you coach there, you played there and had an outstanding playing career at Valpo.
No, I'm so thrilled for the basketball team and for the Drew family in general. I was able to exchange some messages with Homer, a couple days ago, and just so proud of them and getting to know the family and everything that they've poured into college basketball, into young men and shaping young lives. I mean, I think that's what we all strive to do more than teaching the X's and O's of a sport. And to see him do it at the highest level was really special. So I'm excited. And, yeah, I've got a lot of pride in Valpo and in Baylor. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool combo.
I don't know the years, but were you there when Coach Homer Drew was still coaching basketball?
I was.
Okay.
So I was there. Yeah, I played during his last few years coaching, and when Bryce was the assistant, and then Bryce took over and was there for a couple of his years, 3 of his years.
Yeah.
So got to know them both extremely well, and played a lot of racquetball with Homer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd that
Is
go?
he good?
He is a good player. Yes. Yeah. No, he kept right up with me.
Very cool.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, we got to ask you this.
Yes, we did some research, and this fact sparked a lot of conversation for us,
right.
And so we're very interested to hear your point of view.
Triple major at Valpo for you. Chemistry.
Triple major.
Yeah, chemistry, biology, and exercise science.
Yes.
And you were the number 1 top student athlete at Valpo with
the
a triple
GPA
major
of a triple major.
Yeah. How and
why? Where do I go from here?
Question is why?
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 The thought process?
What's wrong with you? So when I decided I was going to leave NC State, I was actually pre-vet at NC State. I wanted to go into veterinary medicine, and when I wanted to move on to Valpo, they didn't have a pre-vet program, and I had so many credit hours after those 2 years, I think it was 96, that I needed to pick up at least another major in order to continue playing and not graduate too soon. And so we decided to do a biology and chemistry double major, and then add exercise science, which is a totally different field with 40-something odd credits that I needed to also take to give me enough classes so that I could continue playing. And so that's kind of how it started.
That's
and
amazing.
Then, my mom always wanted me to make straight A's, and so, just do the best you can. And then I wanted to get a 4.0 for her. So then I started over preparing for everything to make, cause I'm getting so close. It's only a year. And I started, really getting after it to make sure that I, kept it. But, I think I wouldn't recommend it. But it was, to be able to do that for my family, and they'd given me so much to prepare me for, through my education and their sacrifices that they made. I wanted to do that for them. So, it was an amazing experience, but a lot of preparations, a lot of studying.
Well, all credit to you, but you are the prime example of there are no excuses for your team. So as you guys lead these athletes to preparing champions for life, and in the classroom, student athlete, student first, what's your message to them with your own background?
Yeah, I try to find the balance because I understand that not everyone's gonna do that,
Yeah.
and that it probably will hurt you in some regards. If you spread yourself too thin. But no, for us, it's at some point the ball's going to stop bouncing, and what are you going to do? I want to make sure that if they choose to stay in tennis, they play professionally, they coach, whatever it is, that they have options, and that was their choice because it's what they love and that's what they want to pursue. And that's why I feel like for me, I'm effective as a coach because I have some other things that I could do and other gifts and other passions. And I do coach tennis because I love it and I want to be around young men and help them develop into champions for life. But tennis isn't the only thing that I can do. And I want to make sure that the young men that I work with have that same option. How
did you switch from pursuing the track of becoming a vet to becoming a head tennis coach?
When my mom passed away, my senior year, she was killed in a drunk driving car accident. My senior year in college, and when that happened, I had some different options, some fellowship programs, some potential med school was a thing that I was switching into looking into, and just had very little time to make a decision in November of my senior year, and was uncomfortable with the idea that I would maybe spend my next year in a place I'd never been before. So either being in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I was from, or in Valparaiso, where my dad was still the baseball coach there, and family and friends and everything. Just felt like the right thing. And Coach Doherty was gracious enough to sit me down and say, hey, if you want, come next April, you can be the assistant. You can get your master's. It'll be, I'm sure you'll love it. And I agreed. I wasn't sure that I certainly would have never said this was going to be my profession. I just thought this will be a lot of fun. I'll get my master's and then I can go on after this when I know that I'm healed.
Yeah. It must have been tough. I mean, at that time to lose your mom in such a tragic accident.
It was horrible. My mom was, she raised me. My dad was playing professionally, then coaching professionally. So my mom and I were super close. I was an only child at the time. And so for me, she was the one that I called whenever I needed something, whenever anything great happened or bad, frankly. She was the one that I confided in and looked up to so much. And she shaped me in such a strong, positive way that it was hard to miss her and to not have her, even to help me through that. I felt like I needed to call her to ask her what I should do and how I should handle it. But it was the way that she helped shape me. I was very positive. I knew she would want me to be happy. I knew she would want me to do something that I love. And having my dad and family around was just an amazing support, and they stepped up in a huge way. And I think God has a plan, and I think, he wants me to live out her legacy and giving me a platform to be able to do that. I'm very grateful for her, and I know she would be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
She would be very proud.
I was going to say very proud, and I'm sorry to hear about that. But you made her proud getting those straight A's and becoming the coach that you are and leading this fine group of young men. I have no doubt that she is cheering alongside you guys every step of the way. So
I appreciate that.
Tell us about your family, Vanessa, and your two kids.
Yeah, I've got, my wife, Vanessa, grew up in San Diego and played soccer at University of San Diego, was a phenomenal player. She was the starting center back for 4 years on a top 10 team and went on to coach at San Diego and then Valpo, and that's where we met when we were both coaching there. And I was fortunate enough to convince her to move down here with me. And we got married, and we have two little girls. Jordan is almost 3.5, and Kylie is about 19 months old. And then my in-laws also moved here and live in Waco, and so it's just phenomenal to have them here with me and to have them at the matches running around. The girls are waving to me and calling my name on the court, and I'm like looking at, I can't help but look and wave over to them. And it's an amazing family, and I'm super thankful for Vanessa and her coaching. I mean, her coaching comes through with what we're doing with the program. I mean, to have her to be able to bounce ideas off of and, talk through issues with the players and good things and bad things and everything in between. She's certainly changed me for the better, and no question about that. And, and not to mention the other athletes in my family. I'm by far the worst athlete in my family. So, I mean, with her father won a national championship in football, and my dad won a World Series, and my stepmom played college basketball at Valpo, and my little sister's going to play D1 basketball. My brother's probably going to play in the major leagues, and then there's me. So.
That is quite
is a roster.
Yeah, exactly. Start comparing trophies, and things. That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up,
If you need a trailer, Flat Rock Trailers has got you covered. From light-duty single-axle utility trailers to the Big Tex tandem duals. We also carry a full line of enclosed cargo trailers. Need a motorcycle trailer? We've got them. Need a dump trailer? We've got the largest selection in the state. Oilfield trailers? We carry a full line of Big Tex trailers to handle all your needs. Trailer repairs? We repair all makes and models. We'll even rent you a trailer if you need to use one for a day. Flat Rock Trailers, your #1 source for all your trailer needs. Find us at flatrocktrailers.com.
T&G can, and here's why.
To say my wife and I have a lot to clean is an understatement. So we go to T&G Chemical, where the pros know what cleaning solutions to use and give us detailed instructions on exactly how to use them. We never got that kind of advice from any other stores. And the prices at T&G are great. From general household cleaners to odor control solutions for our pets. We go to T&G Chemical and Supply. That's why.
T&G Chemical and Supply. That's why.
You're listening to the Sick'em Podcast, a production of Baylor Athletics. Here again are Brooke Bednarz and John Morris.
Michael Woodson, our guest, Baylor men's tennis interim head coach. Today, as we record this again on April 14th, is Giving Day Challenge today. And I know that's something that's very close to your heart.
Yes, we have been very blessed with some supporters that have stepped up and wanted to put this challenge together to see if we could get 300 individual gifts on the day. And in return for every individual gift, an anonymous supporter is donating an extra $50 to our program for each one, up to 300 gifts. And so just super thankful for everyone that stepped up already. Last I checked, we had 50 gifts already. So we're well on our way to 300. And, I gave mine right before I got out on here this morning, and super excited, not just to have the support that we have, but to have, individuals that have consistently helped these young men and give them the experience that they need and deserve, step up and want to do something like this to push others to jump in with us. It's really cool. So I'm excited and hopeful that everyone will consider helping us get to 300. It's not the amount of the donation. It's just, being one of the 300 that will help us.
And then tell us if someone's thinking about it right now, what are the benefits of you guys receiving that gift, and what does it do for the student athletes on your program?
For our young men right now, we need equipment that we can use for their training. There are some things that we're doing from a fitness standpoint that, if we can have these additional funds, which, if we can get to 300, that will be an additional $15,000 that will allow us to invest in some specific tennis equipment from a fitness perspective that will give us an edge over our competition. Some things that we're trying to do on the cutting edge that, right now, and given the current climate, we're trying to be smart with our budget, that if we can have these additional supports, then we'll be able to do something special for these guys. And it's a good group of guys. We want to give them these opportunities as they prepare for the end of the year and then moving into the off season, some returning and some moving on to professional tennis. I think every little bit will help them.
So what's the process if somebody wants to be a part of the Giving Day Challenge?
There is actually a direct link that we've been sharing out on Baylor Men's Tennis social media and my personal social media accounts. But if you can't get access to those, there's a Baylor Giving Day page that you can go to. If you just Google Baylor Day of Giving, then there's a list. And the Baseline Club is our Excellence Fund. So Men's Tennis Baseline Club. And any gift of any size will count. And there's a running tab, there's a website and everything. So it's been pretty cool to be able to follow that throughout the morning and see how it's going, building some momentum.
That is great.
Today only, correct?
Yes, it's today. So we our backs against the wall.
Right.
We're battling.
Today's the day.
And it's been cool to see all of these individuals come in and do a small part to make a difference. So we're really excited about the response so far, and I think it's going to be a fun day.
Well, all good things today, and tomorrow more good things. Not only do we have the match against Texas, but also celebrating Senior Day. You want to talk a little bit about that class and what they've meant to this program?
I mean, you're going to make me cry just thinking about it. I went to the
Sorry, I didn't give you any heads up there.
No, it's okay. I went to the Women's Senior Day the other day, and I started crying because I was thinking not just about them, and they've had great careers, but my gosh, what am I going to say to my guys and being out there? And I just can't ask. I mean, being in the position that I'm in of leadership and, being my first year as a head coach, I mean, I need help. I needed, not just from the staff, but players that truly buy into what we're trying to do here. And I mean, I just couldn't ask for a more mature, positive, grateful group of young men than these 5 guys. They have all bought into what we're trying to do and help lead this team so effectively that I don't even feel like I need to talk about whatever crazy number of wins they have this year. I mean, if you combine the 5 of those guys' records, I think they've lost 6 times or something in singles together between the 5 of them the entire season, and that probably includes 100 wins. Wow. And then obviously doubles has been highly successful as well. But it's more about their impact and the people they are and the way that they represent Baylor University. I mean, it's going to be hard to have a senior class that follows this and means the same thing to me.
Well, and you mentioned earlier when we were speaking about Connie that some of them, they've been here all 5 years. You said you have a strong group of super seniors, and that marks back to when you came to Baylor.
Yes, I mean we've been through a lot, over the past 5 years, and these guys have each put their stamp on the program, and I think Connie's been the leader of the group, and it's always fun to see over time, to see them then grow and develop and mature, and I mean he used to have a nickname, the Cat, because he was so quiet, and you wouldn't notice him necessarily, and now he's such a vocal leader, and he does and says all the right things for the guys. He's there for each and every one of them. And I mean, even the guys that have transferred in this year, they've made an immediate impact because they're such strong leaders that they have commanded the respect and the attention of all the other guys around them, not in a demanding way, but just because they're always doing the right things. They're always doing, looking out for their teammates and for their staff and for their program. And they put their best foot forward every single day. And I mean, you just can't argue with something like that.
Well, fortunately, it won't be the last actual time that they play at
That's
home.
true.
But
Senior Day.
Yes, we
but
get to
more
celebrate
to
Senior Day, but more to come. So that always makes it a little bit better.
No, it's for sure. I mean, as I'm crying talking to them before the match even starts, I think that will be the thing that gets us all through is, hey, this isn't going to be the last time we're going to play at home. Hopefully we'll have 4 or 5 more matches at home.
Yeah, that'd be great. So it's Charlie Broom, it's Ryan Dickerson, Konstantin Franzen, Spencer Furman, and Nick Stakoviak are the seniors that will be recognized prior to the Texas match.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Great group. And it says a lot about you, getting those guys here, but about them and their character also, coming from all over the place, as transfers, some that have been here for 5 years, but to mesh as well as they have says a lot about them.
I would say it says more about them than anything else. Those guys have, and through the transition with me as well, to decide to come and to have the attitudes that they've had, and coming together when the team's not really allowed to spend much time around each other right now in a COVID year, that they found a way to lead. And they found a way to have our guys, moving in the right direction together at the same time, making great decisions, allowing us to, work on development and training, and through all of the restrictions has been phenomenal. So, all credit to these 5 guys. They've led the way.
Well, 26-3 on the season so far. Hopefully that's 27 tomorrow and extend that win streak to 11, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Keep
11.
it going.
That sounds pretty good to me. Thursday, tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the Herd Tennis Center. That'll be against Texas, celebrating that senior class. But don't forget today to make that gift for the 2021 Giving Day Challenge. Coach Woodson mentioned it can be found on his social media, Baylor Men's Tennis social media, or BaylorBears.com. I'm sure there is a page there for that. And then hoping to reach 300 individual donations with an anonymous donor adding an additional gift of $50 each time someone gives a gift today. So be sure to head on over and do that, and then get out and cheer on the Bears as they take on the Longhorns tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against Texas.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about rankings. You're number 3 in the nation. Texas number 7 in the nation. I mean, it's Baylor, Texas. That's enough.
Yeah,
you don't really
enough.
need the rankings.
The
right
rankings
there.
add excitement, though.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. It's a busy day for you. It's a busy time of year. But as Brooke said, good luck against Texas and then against TCU in Fort Worth on Sunday. And look forward to the Big 12 championships here in Waco coming up in a week or so.
We're really excited. Thank you guys again for having me, and Sick 'em Bears.
All right.
Sick 'em Bears.
Michael Woodson, Baylor Men's Tennis Interim Head Coach. We appreciate him being with us today, and that is our Sick 'em podcast. For Coach Woodson, for Brooke Bednarz, I'm John Morris. We'll talk to you next week with another edition of the Sick 'em podcast.
You've been listening to the Sick 'em podcast. The Sick 'em podcast has been a production of Baylor Athletics.